अब मसला ये है कि पाकिस्तान में कोई भी कंसिस्टेंटली पॉडकास्टिंग कर ही नहीं रहा, तो मैं किसको बोलूँ?
नहीं, I would actually disagree with you on that.
क्यों?
बहुत सारे हैं, शहजाद क़यास शेख है,
शहजाद क़यास
we
शेख,
have worked with him. Junaid Akram है, love his stuff. I've also kind of worked with him way back when. वो भी मैंने project complete भी नहीं किया था. That's on me. And he was also starting out. And
वही है ना नबील के साथ जो मिला था प्रोजेक्ट.
yes,
हाँ, नबील complained
yes,
about it.
Yes, I know, and it was my fault. I completely own up to it. I didn't follow through on it. That was my problem. But
यार देखो,
there are bunch of other stuff.
मीडिया में दो तरह के लोग होते हैं जो मैंने अभी तक इनकाउंटर किए हैं. एक टेक्नीशियन है और एक क्रिएटिव है. हमारी ब्यूटी ये है या हमारी बैड लक ये है कि हमने दोनों को साथ में चलाया है, जिसका एक फॉल आउट आता है.
यही तो सुपर हीरो पना है, that you do everything all at
The
once.
superhero has to sacrifice something and we sacrificed our sanity.
You know what? I would actually correct myself. This is not superhero pana. This is you being in your 20s. So when you're in your
Superhero
20s now, so when you're in your 20s now, you're supposed to do all this stuff. You're supposed to make mistakes. So that when you hit 30s, you understand what kind of person you are. Are you a good technician? Are you a good creative? Are you a good strategist? Are you a good house husband, housewife, student, teacher? What? अब अगर इतनी सारी चीज़ें की हैं तो समझ में आया ना यार that I enjoy this, but I'm good at I enjoy A, I'm good at B, but C makes me the most amount of money. So now I have the right
amount of data.
Thank you.
Real time data जो मेरे पे अप्लाई होता है, कहीं से मैंने कॉपी नहीं किया है.
Yeah, exactly. So you are living your own life. So I do regret कि मैंने जुनैद अकरम वाला प्रोजेक्ट, जब जुनैद अकरम नहीं था, मैंने वो कंप्लीट नहीं किया. Who knows what my life would have been like, because
bro,
even then when I met the dude now,
I'm
he
cutting
was a
you off
great guy.
क्योंकि this is a curse which is common to both of us. मतलब मैं बिलाल अब्बास खान से उस वक्त मिला हूँ जब बिलाल अब्बास खान को कोई नहीं जानता था. मेरी मिन्नतें कर रहा है यार मेरी कोई वीडियो बना दे, एड्स बना दे. रमशा से उस वक्त मिला हूँ मैं, या आपके कासिम खान से तब मिला हूँ, रिजवान अली जाफरी, ये सारे इस वक्त क्रीम है इस वक्त.
और but यार
देखो उनको पता था उन्हें लाइफ से करना क्या है. मुझे नहीं पता था. मुझे ये पता था कि ऑडियो कैसे करनी है, वीडियो कैसे करनी है, लेकिन ये नहीं पता था अपनी लाइफ में क्या करना है. इसलिए मैंने आज तक ऐसी कोई चीज़ नहीं बनाई है जिसको मैं ये कह सकूँ कि ये मेरा पोर्टफोलियो है. लुक एट दिस एंड यू विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट माय वर्किंग स्टाइल इज. लिटरली मेरे पास ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. मैक्सिमम 60% होगा. दैट्स इट.
But you know what? This is such a coincidence. Because I was having a similar conversation with my wife, just like today at dinner when we were having pizza. And you know, there are so many things that you always want from life and that you don't have. And there are things that you have, you never wanted, other people do. तो बात हो रही थी हसरत की, कि हसरत एज एन इमोशन. एक इंसान की एक हसरत होती है दैट आई वांट दिस बट द अदर पर्सन हैज इट, जो कि अक्सर इंस्टाग्राम से बहुत ज़्यादा निकलती है. और मुझे खुद होती है. आई एम नॉट गोना से एनीथिंग बैड अबाउट माय वाइफ. मुझे होती है. There are so many.
जिसको नहीं होती वो इंसान नहीं है bro.
Exactly.
It's a very very legal and justified human emotion.
But there is a flip side to it, man. Like, I know a guy, ठीक है, I'm not going to name any names, अच्छी बात नहीं है, but I know a guy who has a bunch of $1 million houses in a city in North America.
Oh,
He
nice.
is a couple of years older than me. That's it. He's in his mid to late 30s. He's got his life figured out. He's got a bunch of kids. He's got a great wife. He's got great friends. He's got respect in the community. He's got a Tesla. He's got a Range Rover, and I think he also has a Cybertruck now. So he has all the things that people usually want. But you know what? I know him very closely. Whenever he talks to his father, they're not on good terms. They are on really bad terms. And I know that person, उसे बुरा लगता है, मुझसे शेयर करता है कि यार मेरे पास सब है जो मुझे चाहिए था और मुझे यही चीज़ें चाहिए थी. रिस्पेक्ट, दौलत, गाड़ियाँ, अच्छा घर, अच्छी बीवी, अच्छे बच्चे, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ अपने बाप के साथ में करीब नहीं हो पाता. मैं क्या करूँ? एंड आई हैव एक्चुअली हैड अ बंच ऑफ कन्वर्सेशंस विद हिम. और आज मुझे पता है अगर मैं उसे ये ऑफर दूँ ना, दैट डूड, द कॉस्ट of you having a good relationship with your father is everything material that you have. Will you pay that price? वो एक सांस में बोलेगा हाँ अभी ले.
मैं भी बोलूँगा because I did pay that price.
There you go.
There is no other way.
So the thing is कि एक flip side होती है ना, कि अगर किसी के पास कुछ है तो उसके पास कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें नहीं है जो तुम्हारे पास है that you take for granted. So you cannot look at your life from a lens of somebody else's. Look at your life the way you are. आप कल कैसे थे, आज कैसे हो? आप 1 महीने पहले कैसे थे, आप 1 साल पहले कैसे थे, आप 10 साल पहले कैसे थे, और आज आप कैसे हो? वहाँ देखो. आप किसी और के साथ कंपेयर करो. Honestly, that's a bunch of bullshit. That's the best way to destroy your life and go into depression in a second.
इसलिए तो सोशल मीडिया पे बाइपोलर के और डिप्रेशन के इतने केसेस आ रहे हैं.
यही होगा ना यार. What is Instagram? It's one of the sins, like envy and greed.
यार उन्होंने इंस्टाग्राम मतलब वर्ड में ग्राम डाला हुआ. ग्राम इज डायरेक्टली एसोसिएटेड विद अ वेरी फेमस ड्रग व्हिच इज स्टिल यूज्ड वेरी वाइडली ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड.
वैसे
मार्केटिंग में डाला है तो उन्होंने थॉट प्रोसेस भी वही डाला है ना कि बंदा एडिक्ट हो जाए. इंस्टेंट ग्राटिफिकेशन, इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन. सॉरी,
हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है. बट आई थिंक इट्स मोर the name came from the word telegram.
I doubt that. क्योंकि it doesn't work like that. It works more like cocaine.
Maybe it does.
It hooks you up.
I don't know.
A telegram was to get one message from one place to another as soon as possible. Instagram is to do the exact opposite, to spread false images, false thoughts. Okay, Instagram के हिसाब से that's called being an influencer, लेकिन उसका बिल्कुल opposite ही function कर रहा है. चलो टेक्नोलॉजी टेलीग्राम की है, लेकिन इंस्पिरेशन और एग्जीक्यूशन तो ड्रग्स वाली है ना.
I agree, man.
Proper cocaine वाली.
We need to be very, very, very fucking careful from this stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm very lucky that I found someone like Framji at a time when there was not even a single teacher around me. आप मेरे बाद आए थे सर्विस में, तो इसलिए आपको फिर भी थोड़े लोग मिल गए जिनको पोक करके तुम उनसे टीचर बना करा पाए. मैं लिटरली इसमें सबसे अच्छा वो है ना, why do I keep forgetting his name? The guy we went to learn Farsi.
Oh, Saklan Zaidi.
Saklan Zaidi.
That dude hates me, yeah, for some reason, and I don't like it because he was a great teacher, yeah. Great.
He still is a great teacher.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
he will hate us because we can do what he can't. ठीक है, being a teacher is a different kind of skill set. Being a teacher means you're not ready to do what you know. You're trying to find others to do what you want to do.
Okay, yeah, but
at least मेरी तो टीचर की डेफिनेशन यही है. टीचर की डेफिनेशन अगर क्लासिकल सेंस में देखें तो प्रॉफिट्स होते हैं, या फिर वो लोग हैं जिनको डायरेक्ट डेटा मिल रहा है और अनबायस तरीके तक आप तक पहुंचा रहे हैं. ये कौन करता है आज यार? और ये सकलैन जैदी ने किया. यहाँ तक कि ये मेरे साथ फ्रामजी ने भी किया. फ्रामजी ने मुझे सिर्फ एक चीज़ समझा दी. उसने ये समझा दिया बेटा कि मैंने शेक्सपियर में PhD इसलिए किया क्योंकि वो मशहूर है.
हाँ, it makes sense.
That's it.
Because उससे
बहुत बेहतर राइटर्स हैं दुनिया में, उससे बहुत अच्छे राइटर्स हैं, लेकिन वो मशहूर नहीं है. तो मैं उन पे PhD करूँगा, मुझे कोई नौकरी नहीं देगा.
That is so true.
And that started breaking my ego. That actually worked. No drugs worked. No sex worked. No level of helping people or escaping from myself worked. But this one thought started a chain reaction in my head. I guess he knew what to say to me. उसने अपना टाइम लिया क्योंकि उसकी मैंने उसका जो विजुअल कल्चर का कोर्स है ना, वो मैंने पूरा विदाउट रजिस्टरिंग लिया था. मैंने फाइनल एग्जाम भी दे के आया. उसके बाद वो मुझे बुलाता.
but
ये क्या किया है तुमने? तुम तो मतलब रिकॉर्ड में नहीं हो मेरे.
But tell me more about this visual culture course and how.
तुम नहीं बैठे थे विजुअल कल्चर?
Yeah, but tell me anyway because we are kind of exploring all of this, right? Because
we are in the middle of predictions made by very very literate people, especially fiction writers in the 60s and 70s. उन्होंने उस वक्त जो novels में डाला है ना, वो इस वक्त हो रहा है.
No, I agree, but
इश्तिहार आ रहा है.
Yeah, it's Spotify, man.
तो तुमने पैसे नहीं भरेगा.
हाँ यार, I was not using Spotify at all. I wasn't listening to good music anymore. I wasn't listening to any music because there was none. अब मुझे मिला है तो यार दिल हो रहा है कि मैं ले लूँ.
देखो, the reason for playing that rag, that has been accomplished. Because rags are something that can start a conversation. अगर in older times राग सुनने के लिए आपको एक accomplished उस्ताद ढूंढना पड़ता था और फिर उसकी मिन्नतें करनी होती थी कि शायद जब वो रियाज कर रहा हो तो आपको कहीं कोने में बैठने को मिल जाए. अब आपके मोबाइल में हर उस्ताद है. अब म्यूज़िक वो वैल्यू ही नहीं रखता जो उस वक्त रखता था. उस वक्त म्यूज़िक was something divine, something magical. Right now music is literally translating the emotions of public.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because मैंने इसलिए Spotify Plus अब मैं use नहीं करता because I don't feel a need to because
you will if you use good speakers.
No,
Spotify का मसला ये है कि इसकी जो extreme premium quality है ना, so वो थोड़ा नीचे करके जो है ना आपको free में देता है.
I have decent speakers now. The thing is, it's like again, the same blues and same metal, and I just got bored of listening to music. Honestly, yeah, that's one sad part.
Okay, here's the interesting part.
Very, very interesting that I got bored of music.
You did not get bored of music. You got bored of sound. Understand me, because it took me 3 years to figure this out.
Okay, go on.
It's the same notes, it's the same frequencies which have been used for thousands of years. सारे cultures में C का note same है, chord same है. फर्क क्या है instrument का? Now instruments have changed. Instruments are no longer made of wood or metal. They're made of circuits. They're made of electricity. अब जो sounds है हमारे पास, उनको प्लेजेंट करके क्लासिकल फॉर्मेट में प्रेजेंट करना, ये डीजेस कर पा रहे हैं, ये अविची कर पाया, ये आर्मिन वैन ब्यूरन काफ़ी हद तक कर पाता है. इस तरह के अभी मुझे रिसेंटली आरी गोड मिला है, ये एक लोफाई का प्रोड्यूसर है, वो ये कर पाता है. ऐसी साउंड्स उठा रहा है जो कि हमें नॉस्टैल्जिक हिट्स दे रही हैं और उनको सिंक्रोनाइज कर रहा है, हार्मनी में डाल रहा है, कॉर्ड्स में डाल रहा है, राग्स में डाल रहा है. तो द राग कैन नेवर चेंज. दैट इज व्हाट नीड्स टू बी अंडरस्टूड अबाउट क्लासिकल म्यूजिक. इट्स अ फॉर्मूला. यू कैन अप्लाई इट टू एनी इंस्ट्रूमेंट.
There's another dude called Akira the Don.
ये नाम सुना लग रहा है.
Yeah, Akira तो is basically this is the name of one of the famous animes back in the day. मेरे ख्याल से कुरोसावा की थी.
यही नाम सुना है मैंने Akira. It's an anime.
Yeah, it is an anime and it's like one of the best animes out there. But this guy Akira the Don, what he does is he talks of people like Alan Watts, like Elon Musk.
उसके पीछे एक बेसिक पैड लगा देता है.
Pad लगाता है and he takes these snippets. So basically, you would have to listen to it to actually understand it. What he does.
मुझे क्या बता रहा है? मैंने इतना सुना है, तुम्हारी सोच है.
Have you heard Akira the Don?
I have heard a lot of podcasts using this format.
But what they do is they basically cut apart the podcast. They don't just put a basic music behind it and the podcast is going on.
Structure डालते हैं, compose करते हैं.
So they take snippets of the most heaviest or something that can be the chorus of the song, for example.
मैंने एक बटन मार दिया. मैं इसलिए अपना ukulele लाना चाह रहा था. Because this is what
I have a guitar right there.
Even right now when we're talking in music.
Yeah.
लेकिन वो music नहीं classify होगा क्योंकि वो structured नहीं है. और एक ही note है जो कि एक random feel पे चल रहा है. That is original music.
That is original music.
अब जो हम सुनते हैं that's not music. That's mostly noise. क्योंकि looped होती है. एक ही चीज को आप बार-बार सुनोगे तो in the end it will affect you physically and mentally.
Same freaking structure even in rock and roll. I mean I remember क्या नाम था उसका जो Metallica का एक एल्बम आया था with Lou Reed.
बीट है.
But
बस वो बीट आपने अगर पकड़ ली और वो किसी भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट पे डाल दी रॉक की फील निकलेगी.
But it's also the structure ना, so it's like verse chorus solo verse chorus मतलब एक ही है तकरीबन.
क्योंकि उस ज़माने में that was the highest level of skill.
But when Metallica came up with this album with Lou Reed, it was something that is very difficult to listen to because on purpose they have made bad music. And on purpose they have destroyed every convention of what a musical structure is of a song. But I for some reason loved that album and everybody hated Lulu. Yes, it's called Lulu. You really need to listen to it. It is too loud, too angry. You have to be in a state of mind. But there are people who do it, but then they do it because they want to, not because they are trying to get success, because they're already successful. That is like Framji, coming back to Framji. I did PhD in Shakespeare because he's famous.
Yeah.
Not because he's interesting. Maybe he was, but his reason was because he was famous. So that he can get the recognition in the commonplace world that he needs to survive. The way he wants to survive and thrive. Not saying he was a sellout, of course not. Doing PhD in Shakespeare is not something small. It is also some sort of a fringe.
It was a well-calculated decision.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not a passionate decision. It was a structured decision.
Yes, he did not think about, I want to do a PhD in a writer that actually resonates me with the most. He kind of really, well, yeah, if he did PhD in Shakespeare, obviously he would get tired of it. उसने यही किया पूरी जिंदगी. I remember he taught us Much Ado About Nothing and a bunch of other plays. Good days, man, in Zavist. I have to say, one of the most enlightening days of my life.
This is why in 2023 media education has to be compulsory on everyone. जैसे स्कूल में म्यूजिक सिखाते हैं ना, अब मीडिया सिखाना जरूरी हो चुका है. Only because of social media.
Honestly, I really don't. I have a different perspective altogether. I have dropped out of 3 universities. I never finished anything.
Because the university system is now obsolete now.
Yeah, it is fucking obsolete.
They train you to be robots. They train you to be slaves.
Robots? Like an MBA, BBA, out there in the first world, air quotes, you are not really guaranteed a job or a livelihood. An engineering freaking degree here can just pay you 30 to 40,000 right out of the university in this day and age. What's the point? I mean, for me, the exposure that I got going to so many different places and meeting so many different people was that now I can think in different perspectives all at once. And now I just need to channel it with my work, whatever it is that I do. Like I was just telling you before we turned on this podcast, I'm doing email marketing right now for the first time, and I made my clients a humongous amount of money doing it for the first time. Because it was just a tool that I never used, but I could think in a way on how to reach out to customers so that they would spend money on a Shopify store. That was it. So it's not about learning how to use a hammer, it's about what exactly do you want to do with it. It's like, if you give me this audio equipment which I've never used, give me like a day with it and I know exactly what to do. Because I will know what the intent is, what the output it is that I'm looking for. So, and again, there is no one right answer to this, right? The way you have kept the audio equipment, the way I've done my email marketing, the way we do anything, there is no one right way to do it. Right?
There used to be, it was called the standardization system.
There was.
साइंस में आज तक अप्लाई होता है. अगर आपकी गिवन फिक्स कंडीशंस ऑफ द लेबोरेटरी है तो स्टैंडर्ड सिस्टम के थ्रू आप प्रूव कर सकते हो कि एक चीज़ जो है वो थ्योरी है या फिर खाली हाइपोथेसिस है.
Okay, hold the phone. You just said something that was very interesting. I would like you to repeat it. Agar you conditioned it. What was the condition?
The laboratory settings.
Now let's just stop here for a second. Where can you find a laboratory setting in real life?
Well, I call it filmmaking.
Yeah, again, you are just creating narratives, right? I'm talking about real life. Real life. Where there is no laboratory setting in real life.
There is no laboratory setting in real life.
It's freaking possible.
There is no right and wrong. There is nothing as structured. It's all chaos.
Law of physics that Einstein, Newton, or whoever these scientists came up with, even they say themselves that there are places in the universe where these laws don't apply. So they apply not everywhere in the universe. It depends where. It depends on the context. And it's the context. Context is king. Or context is for kings.
I would agree with the latter. Context is for kings. Because if context was king, things like TikTok or YouTube Reels would not be making such big headlines. इस वक्त लोगों का attention span छोटा नहीं होता जा रहा. वो शुरू से ही छोटा था bro. Majority का attention span इतना ही है. अगर हम हिस्ट्री को उठा के देखते हैं, जितनी मैंने एटलीस्ट हिस्ट्री उठा के देखी है, as a simple reader, not as someone who's like looking for scholarly articles or something, war has been part of our culture. मतलब human civilization and war go hand in hand.
And we keep
war is the rectifier or more like the protector of peace. अगर आज के ज़माने में न्यूज़ ब्रॉडकास्ट हो रही है कि यहाँ पे ये हो गया वो हो गया, ये अभी से नहीं हो रहा. और पहले जो होता था उससे ज़्यादा इनह्यूमेन होता था. फिर भी थोड़े बहुत रूल्स हैं जिसमें थोड़ा लोग तमीज़ से मारते हैं.
क्योंकि there are cameras out there. Rules नहीं है, there are cameras out there.
Yeah, me being a film student, seriously, I know for a fact that cameras can be fooled.
Yeah, but still, if I'm a soldier trying to enact an act of barbarity,
तो the camera is your weapon.
And if there is somebody else with the camera right there, even if I'm going to be barbaric, मैं अपना हाथ रोकूंगा. Because I will have not a sense of humanity, but a sense that I might be held accountable.
Morality.
Not morality, I'm scared of the accountability. Not completely at least. यार अगर मैं इसका, for example, if I shoot this person in the head, ठीक है, I might be persecuted a little bit. But if I actually torture this person on camera, that's going to be something else. But at the end of the day, that person is suffering, no matter what. But because of a camera, ये चीज़ें थोड़ी सी कम होती है. They don't fucking stop. Let's be honest, man. That does not happen.
Well, if you're talking about being honest, we still have the dark web जहाँ पे ये torturing जो है बाकायदा pay per view पे मिलती है.
There you go. So there are people who actually do it in front of the camera and they get paid for it.
And they make a very good living out of it. Yeah, I think OnlyFans is only a small speckle of the dark web which has actually crossed over. जो कि अब आपके normal internet पे आ चुका है.
Yeah, because it was so normal. I mean, OnlyFans, oh my God, man. I mean, I've never even, maybe I've just visited the website once just to see what the fuck it was. And I closed it down so quickly because it was so easy to just give my card and see some beautiful women. But I'm like, what the hell is this?
And you can control them. That's where the high is.
You can control them?
You type whatever you want them to do and they do that for you.
Are you freaking kidding me?
OnlyFans की जो original feel आ रही है वो dark web से आ रही है. Dark web पे basically torture channels होते हैं, red room channels होते हैं. You pay in crypto, you go over there live, जो लिखोगे करेंगे. And there are endless possibilities. वहाँ पे कोई मोरालिटी नहीं है, वहाँ पे कोई स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, अकाउंटेबिलिटी नहीं है. आप इतने सारे ऑनियन राउटर्स के थ्रू जो है वो घुमा फिरा के भेजे जा रहे हो कि व्हाट यू वांट टू सी यू कैन एक्चुअली सी. एंड वो पॉडकास्ट है तो उतना ज़्यादा ब्रूटल होना नहीं चाहिए. बट टॉर्चर इज लाइक PG-12 होता है. जो बड़ी कहते हैं ना बड़ी लेजेंडरी किस्म की पॉर्न क्लिप्स हैं या वॉयरिज्म क्लिप्स हैं वो कहाँ से लीक होती है? वो डार्क वेब से लीक होती है bro.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, that goes to show, like, context. Like, this is all a product of the internet. Yes, in a way. If there was no internet, there wouldn't be any dark web out there.
I would care to disagree on an intellectual level. The dark web, I think, represents the darker part of human psyche.
I get it.
अगर अभी materialize हो रहा है through the internet,
It is
before
manifesting.
this, it was materializing in cult cultures, for example.
Agreed.
या फिर forbidden areas जहाँ पे जाने के लिए आपको.
But the dark web has created an economy for people who want to abuse either themselves or other people to make some monetary gain from it and also satiate their basic human desires.
I would only agree with the last one.
Yeah.
I did agree with the other remaining as well कि पैसे भी बना रहे हैं,
पैसे भी बना
culture
रहे
भी
हैं,
बना
like, so now
I think they just tapped into something which has existed from the beginning.
Absolutely. Look, I'm not saying that internet created new evils. It just exasperated them.
Alternate paths दे दिए.
Yeah, they exaggerate कर दिया, आसान कर दिया. If somebody wants to do evil or bad things, you can make money from it. You can be popular from it. You can do anything you want. That's the power of the internet. It has not created something new, honestly. I don't see anything new going on. It has just made things easier and connected all of us.
और ये चीज़ क्लास 4 क्लास 5 के बच्चे को पढ़ाना ज़रूरी है. अगर आपको पेन चलाने के लिए किंडरगार्टन से लेके क्लास 3 तक ट्रेन किया जाता है तो सोचो कैमरा उससे ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स और पावरफुल चीज़ है. इसका एटलीस्ट सेंस तो होना चाहिए और मुझे अभी तक कहीं भी नहीं दिख रहा जो मेरे हिसाब से इज़ अ रेसिपी फॉर डिजास्टर. जिस तरह से पेन या जर्नलिज्म अब्यूज़ ज़्यादा हुआ है फॉर पावर, इसी तरह कैमरा इस वक्त अब्यूज़ हो रहा है फॉर मैनिपुलेशन.
Agreed, but I would rather say that kids these days need to learn how to code and use the internet and be aware of the dark web and also understand that internet, just the presence of the internet, it can make you a millionaire and you can take care of a million people if you want, or you can abuse a million people and still make a million, or you can just scroll through Instagram and waste your life. There are so many things that can happen to you if you are not aware of the power this tool has. And of course, with this power, it gives a camera more power by association. Because whatever I shoot, I don't have to go to a freaking cinema, put it on a film reel, like Tarantino still wants to do to this day for some reason.
Dinosaur, है ना?
Yeah, dude.
I call them dinosaurs. I have my family filled with them.
I
But
don't.
at least he's honest about what he wants.
I mean, bro, he's a passionate dude. He's a director. Scorsese, these are all creative artists. I mean, they want to do it in a certain medium. Go right ahead. I actually enjoy their stuff. I'm a big fan of both of these guys, but they want to do it on film.
I was a fan of Tarantino. Now I'm more of a student of Tarantino. I cannot be his fan because I figured out what he's doing. He just started putting narratives into slasher films.
Yeah.
इससे ज़्यादा उसने कुछ नहीं किया.
He says it himself.
बस तो इसमें उससे सीखा जा सकता है ना. फैन वाला एलिमेंट अब मेरे लिए से die out कर गया.
I mean, Hateful Eight, his latest. It was a great movie.
Technically, it was a masterpiece.
But
I loved the writing.
But the narrative was so freaking simple.
यही है ना.
Hateful Eight. 8 people that you would hate. That was it. That was it. And he just put them all in a room, in a certain context, in a certain period of time, in a certain place. But they were just all of them. 8 hateful people. The hangman. He wanted. I mean, he could have just shoot his bounties dead. First of all, he's a bounty hunter, so he kills for a living. Okay, everybody's a bounty hunter back then. Devia. then he's called the hangman because he doesn't want to kill his bounties and drag those dead bodies to the sheriff's house so that he could get paid. He would drag them alive and then see them hanged. Okay, and he was the cleanest of the dudes.
He was the cleanest one, yes.
And then it's like the black dude, Samuel Jackson. I forget the name of his character. He's a black general on the side of, I think, the Democrats or whatever it was in the Civil War. He was one of the heroes, but he killed a lot of white people and also a lot of black people. He carried around this letter from Abraham Lincoln. And then, yeah, it was Abraham Lincoln, yes. And everybody would, and he was famous for it. Oh, you're the nigger who actually, and this is like one of the dialogues from his, from that movie. You're the nigger who has a letter from Abraham Lincoln, don't you? Or something like that. And then he would say, and then it's a whole story. He does this whole bit. But in the middle of the movie, he actually reveals that I lied. It's not a letter from Abraham Lincoln. I'm not pen pals with him. I only do this because white people feel safer when I have this letter. I don't have to. He was a liar. He was a hero but a liar. Then all the bounties, all the criminals, they were all freaking criminals. The whole gang was a bunch of criminals. Everybody. And the location that they were in, it was owned by Minnie, a character, who got killed off pretty early. And she was a nice lady. She was a black American lady. She was funny. She was cute. She was running a cafe or a haberdashery of some sorts. But she hated Mexicans. Everybody in that freaking story, in that movie, is a hateful person. And he just focused on 8 of them. There must have been 10, 12. I actually just saw this movie a couple of days ago, so it's so fresh. Everybody's hateful. That was the only simple narrative, but it hit home. Because he knew how to freaking do it.
This is why I'm not a fan of Tarantino anymore.
Why not?
Because what he does is very common sense stuff.
Oh, that's the beauty of it. It's so
simple. Perspective
simple.
देखो everybody is hateable, everybody is lovable.
Yeah.
अगर hateable के perspective से देखना आप सबको hate भी कर सकते हो. लेकिन अगर आप Tarantino की फिल्म को एक बार से ज़्यादा बार देखोगे तो वही hateful characters के साथ आप relate करना शुरू हो जाता
है. Because what they do is what a normal people would do if they were put into this situation. He's just good at creating these situations and making them feel close to real life because he knows how to write dialogue. Let's be honest. I mean, he knows how to write a scene of pure dialogue between 2 or 3 people. That's what his movies are all about. It's just people talking. Most of the time. Tarantino actually makes talkies with sprinkled on violence action in between. It's not a lot of gunfights like Clint Eastwood.
He uses that as glue.
Yeah.
To connect the talkies. Yes.
But he knows how to have people have a conversation which is interesting. And it even has a beat and a rhythm to it. Which Christopher Waltz did in such a brilliant manner in Inglourious Bastards. So yeah, man, I mean, but देखो आप ये काम अब you can also do it on your phone, right? You can. You don't need to go to the cinema anymore.
We do actually.
Yeah.
यहाँ पे फर्क आ जाता है the classical difference between a movie and a film. वो यहाँ आ जाता है.
क्या मतलब?
यार ओके अगर तुमने सोशल मीडिया के लिए चीज़ बनाई है लेकिन उसकी रेजोल्यूशन इतनी अच्छी है कि तुम उसे बड़े से टीवी पे या सिनेमा में देखो तो भी वो पिक्सलेट ना करे फटे नहीं तो सस्पेंशन ऑफ डिसबिलीफ मेंटेन्ड है. आई बिलीव एट दिस मोमेंट आई कैन डेफिनेटली बी रॉन्ग बट दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव लर्नड सो फार. अ मूवी इज समथिंग which does not rely on suspension of disbelief to relay content or information. For a film, suspension of disbelief is the primary requirement. अगर आप अपने आप को भूल के फिल्म के अंदर नहीं जा रहे तो the film failed. Then it's a movie.
So answer me this. Why are you so obsessed about suspending your own disbelief?
No, I'm not obsessed about it. I am passionate about it.
So
because that is the one thing which gives me true bliss. जब मेरा suspension of disbelief होता है तभी मैं सुकून में होता हूँ. As long as I'm functioning in reality, it's.
Why is that?
Well, I guess overexposure to reality हो चुका है. In the end, everything's gonna die. In the end, everything's gonna fall apart. It's the journey that matters. Eventually, everything's the same.
I mean,
journey है जिसकी वजह से थोड़ा बहुत कुछ character आ जाते हैं कष्ट हो जाता है.
I'm a gamer, so I know exactly what you're talking about, and I do this myself at least a few hours every day. I throw myself into a game, so I'm not going to criticize you here because I do it too, and I think a lot of people do.
You're one of those people who I give a license to criticize.
But I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm just saying.
I've started actually drawing parallels into all of this stuff because I'm reaching the age of 40, and before 40, I have to get at least my animation ka pilot out. The one thing that actually makes a compelling narrative is not the choice of words, but the tone you use for those words, and that is where I believe Tarantino की true genius है. उसको tone की sense है. टोन की सेंस मैंने अभी जो देखा म्यूजिशियंस को होती है लेकिन इस बंदे को है. आई डोंट नो इफ ही इज अ म्यूजिशियन और नॉट बट ही इज डेफिनेटली उसका म्यूजिशियन बाय एयर सीन तो ऑन है क्योंकि वो कभी भी ओरिजिनल म्यूजिक नहीं यूज़ करता. वेरी रेयरली आई सीन हिम यूज ओरिजिनल म्यूजिक. एट मैक्स मोटिव बना लिया वरना ज़्यादातर नॉस्टैल्जिक ट्रैक्स पुराने निकाल के लाता है जिनकी ऑलरेडी एक रेलिवेंट वैल्यू है. दैट ऑडियो अलोन डज मोर देन 50% ऑफ हिज वर्क.
यहाँ पे ना आई वुड लाइक टू इन्वोक
मतलब इट्स अ जीनियस थिंग टू डू. उनका लाइसेंस लेना कोई आसान काम नहीं है.
सही है यार. देखो उसके पास पहले सारे लाइसेंसेस नहीं थे.
उन्हें सारे
He made good stuff. Pulp Fiction bombed at the box office. It became a cult hit. But after Pulp Fiction, this guy just went for the moon because he did whatever the hell he wanted. whatever the hell he wanted, and nobody stopped him. He was working with Harvey Weinstein, who is like the scum of Hollywood right now. I don't know how many other scums are already there that we don't know about. Hollywood is not a great place for great people, but he still is a respected filmmaker. Because he did quality stuff. It's just like what Elon Musk said in one of his interviews, like just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. A journalist asked him, you said something bad about or something about the Israel-Palestine conflict and people didn't like it. And now they are thinking about pulling their advertisements or ad budgets from your platform. What do you have to say about that? And he was talking about big brands, Disney, Marvel, or whatever. I don't know whose big advertisers are. I'm not big into it. But this happened. And you know what Musk said? Wait, you are going to blackmail me or threaten me with advertising money? Are you serious? Really? And before the journalist could actually ask a follow-up question, he said, go fuck yourself. Not to the journalist. He said these words to all the advertisers who are threatening to do this. And then the journalist asked him, then your company will crash, it will die. So what? But we will document it.
I think the one thing Elon has succeeded at is to attain a goal without marketing.
No.
His first product क्या था? PayPal, right?
Yeah, bro, that product didn't need marketing, and I don't know much about PayPal, but I know
the only product I think that needs marketing when it comes to what Elon Musk is producing is his flamethrower. That's about it. Baaki सारे products are marketing itself.
Number one, it's not a flamethrower. That's its legal name. Yeah, that is literally it. Second, he only made a limited number of those, and they all sold out. They never needed any marketing. The only marketing was, it's not a flamethrower, and Elon Musk using it's not a flamethrower. That was it. With Tesla, he did the same. With the Cybertruck, he said that this car is indestructible, but in one of his keynotes, they brought the car on the stage and he smashed the window with the stone while he was saying that this is indestructible. This was negative marketing, but it was still a hit. Everybody's crazy about that car. SpaceX. And he actually went on to say in this interview, why do you care about what I say, do, and think? Why? The best cars, the best electric cars that are made on the planet are Teslas. The best rockets, privately made, or in fact, the best rockets, the best reusable rockets are SpaceX.
NASA से ज़्यादा economical बना.
If you hate me, go right ahead. I don't care. Do you want a good car? Then buy Tesla. Do you want a decent car? You want a moderate car? Buy something else. You want to buy car? So his cheat code was, I'm sure he has had a lot of advantages and his mind works in a different way, but he did one thing good, that whatever he did, it was the best. That's what he did. So now he has a license to be like, go fuck yourself. He actually said it. Bob Iger, the president or maybe the CEO of Disney, freaking Disney, got top guy. He actually, pehle he said, go fuck yourself. Hey Bob, how are you? He did this on stage. It's on freaking YouTube. And everybody went crazy. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Elon has gone crazy. People are going to do this, going to do that.
Jabki in the end, all he's doing is being honest.
Nah, dude. What he's doing is he's not giving a fuck about anything else. Whatever he's doing, he is doing it the best possible way he can possibly do it.
He's being honest now.
But
by Tesla, SpaceX, even right now Twitter is an extension of what Elon Musk stands for. एक तरह से उसके organs है ना.
Agreed. But
उसी का thought process
follow. But the thing
करना.
is, bro, he did not suspend his disbelief. He stayed in reality, and he confronted the harsh truths.
Here I can rebuttal you.
Go ahead. I want you to.
Because it took me a while to figure out if he is in reality or not. He is. Okay, I use this term on my own. I don't think if this makes any sense. But a semi-dystopic dreamer. इस बंदे की जो main inspirations हैं, the best inspirations he got was from Alvin Toffler and from Isaac Asimov. Asimov has a bigger role to play in all the things he's materializing right now.
Yeah, I love his books. Yeah, I actually have a couple.
He's starting a colony on Mars. Where would he get an idea like that from? Uski inspirations जो आ रही हैं, that inspirations has given him a goal to convert into reality. I don't think he is in reality. I think he's working towards reality. If he would have accepted reality, he would be a stoner, or probably, I don't know, a musician. और उससे आगे आता नहीं.
He did smoke a joint on Joe Rogan's podcast.
अगर
I think it was a blunt.
वो blunt ही है ना, weed पी रहा है. But the point being, he would smoke a joint over there because he would want to be on the same page as the one he's talking to, so that he doesn't stand out as a celebrity, as a demigod, which he does. In the world of tech, even in the world of celebrities, Elon Musk has his own image and his own persona. कहीं खड़ा हो जाता है वो मिट्टी बिकना शुरू हो जाती है. इस बंदे का ये ब्रांड बन चुका है. तो his marketing strategy is to launch everything as his own extension. कि I am making this. That is what makes the product successful, even if he's not. Maybe Tesla's not his product. Maybe he hired a couple of engineers and stole the idea from them and paid him for it. But he marketed it as his own.
Yeah, but
the concept of electric cars, the concept of space travel, time travel,
he didn't invent these concepts.
Asimov.
But whatever he's doing, if he's building electric cars, he's building the best electric car possible all the time. So he's adding more and more features. There is a ludicrous mode in Tesla that it dances just on a press of a button. Why? Because it can do it.
Yeah, just because he can.
Why? So why is he doing that? Because everybody knows if you're going to buy a Tesla, you want to buy a toy, honestly. You want to buy something that's fun. You're not buying a Toyota. A Toyota is a Toyota. It's a car that gets you from A to B. You're comfortable, you are heated or cold. The music system is decent, the car is decent. You don't have to worry about much. If you have a Tesla, you want to fuck around because you want to play.
The only electric car I've been in is my son's electric car, and it's like for a 2-year-old. Yeah. So I can't give you the experience-based data.
I've never been in a Tesla as well, but I know you can play Cyberpunk 2077 in a Tesla. Why would you do that? Why?
Well, if I was a teenager, I'd want to play my video games in my car.
But there is
it makes you a teenager again, even if you're 55.
But it's a specific game, Cyberpunk 2077. Like, I mean, I have played the game. It's a decent game.
Asimov, na? Asimov.
Exactly.
वहीं से आ रहा है.
Exactly. I mean, he just wants to do it because he can. So he's not trying to build the most efficient car. He's trying to build the best car. A car is an extension of a self.
I'm glad we started a conversation on Elon Musk. Yeah. Because in a nutshell, if you wish to make anything which has any value, you need to first have inspiration.
That's true. I agree with that. Absolutely.
Inspiration can either ground you in reality or give you a reality to strive for. The same applies to filmmakers, I think. Because I learned how to make... क्या हुआ? Music change करना?
No. Keep going, man. Keep going. Just gonna grab some supplies.
Supplies पकड़. Please do, yes. Bhai, I knew how to make a film at the age of 24. This is not an ego boost in any way because I never made any movies. I tried helping people. But I still do know how to make a perfect movie. Yeah, I do not know what I am supposed to make.
But imagine if you did make some movies. You know, I wouldn't call it a regret, but that is something that we should work on. If you are a filmmaker, then make some goddamn films. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Right now, I'm just a salesman, man. I'm not a filmmaker. Right now, I'm just a student of film. I can be a film critic, but I cannot call myself a filmmaker. I studied filmmaking, though.
I'm not saying make films. I'm just saying there's this newfound respect I've found for doing things. Like, this is like such a random thing to say, but sometimes, or in fact, oftentimes, it's always better to just start doing it and then figuring it out as you move forward. Because when you just study things for a long time, you are enjoying it. But wouldn't it be nice if you could do it yourself? Whatever it may be. Whatever gives you joy or peace. I know learning has its own joy. मैं समझता हूँ because I'm also like an ever living student now. जब तक मैं जिंदा हूँ, I'm gonna stay a student. But चीजें करने में एक अलग मजा है. Like, honestly, dude, like, abhi maine in fact, no. For half a decade, I have been in the business of digital marketing, right? Started out as a designer, web designer, this, that, stupid shit, ye sikha, wo sikha, falana sikha, trying to make ends meet. Got a job at another agency, remote job, Pakistan mein baitha hu, was earning in dollars. That was actually pretty freaking good.
I know.
but But dude, I must say, in the first few months, there was this gnawing feeling, something's off. But I would pacify myself by looking at my bank account. And और वहाँ पैसे भी मिलते थे महीने में 2 दफ़ा, जो मुझे समझ में आया क्यों है, क्योंकि आपको महीने में 2 दफ़ा हाई मिलता है. तो you get a motivation boost, not once, but twice a month. That is for your employer, वो उसके लिए पॉजिटिव है. वो हमें आधी देता है 15 दिन में, फिर आधी देता है 15 दिन में. So there was a sense of motivation, but it would die out in a couple of days.
Because it's money, it loses value.
It's not just about that.
This is something I learned from experience. When you attain the minimum amount required to sustain yourself, that amount becomes meaningless.
Yeah, it does, because अब ये तो चाहिए.
लाख रुपए होते थे, अब लाख रुपए.
ये तो भाई अब क्या मतलब, वो what the fuck have you been doing for so long? Honestly, मैं अपने आप से कहता हूँ, जब मेरे पास लाख रुपए नहीं होते, तेरे पास लाख रुपए नहीं है, ये तूने किया क्या पूरी जिंदगी? ये तो करके दे भाई. This is like the least expected from you. This should be something that you should have. And there have been times where I haven't even had lakh rupees in my accounts. But the point that I was trying to make was, I was just going through the motions, working for a company, for their clients. काम आ जाते थे मेरे project management पे, ये करना है, ये client meeting है, ये team meeting है, ये है. Same old bullshit जो job की होती है. The job was great. The people are still awesome. They taught me so much shit I never thought even existed. I mean, वो time मैं regret नहीं कर रहा हूँ, but I learned something.
I agree with you, same here.
The job thing ना यार, it kind of fucks you up. ये आपको है ना फंसा देती है चीज़ के अंदर. It kind of kills your spirit, and I think that's what it's designed to do.
You think? हाँ, मैं कोई सिगरेट ही निकाल रहा हूँ.
हाँ, वो वहीं पड़ी. And I think
नहीं, मुझे आजकल मैं सस्ती वाली पी रहा हूँ, स्मगल बेबी.
ये भी यार पाइन लाइट्स है, they are decent.
यार I have too many bad memories. See, my family has a history of heart diseases and cancer. So the chacha who developed heart diseases smoked pine lights. I hate them for that reason only.
And I only have because available है. I'm actually thinking of changing my brand, but I don't know what to. अच्छी cigarettes आती नहीं है.
मैं सिगरेट छोड़ने की कोशिश करता हूँ, लेकिन whenever I'm alone, this is the most comforting thing to use.
Yeah.
ये वही वाली मेरी वाली है, अच्छा मैंने वहाँ रख दी थी.
Yeah. So when I did this job, bro, मेरा दिमाग तो हो गया था बंद. And in the last couple of months, on my last months, I remember a month before I left the company, I cried. I finally admitted to myself, I hate my job. But the thing was, I was making enough money to not only take care of myself and my family, but take care of my parents, my sister. I was financing 2 degrees, 2 master's degrees, by the way. I was paying for 2 master's degrees. And I still had a little bit left to save up for a rainy day. So I wasn't making too much money. But I was making enough क्योंकि मेरा भी खर्चा यहाँ कम है, मेरे ठीक है, चीज़ें सेट हो गई थी मेरी फैमिली के अंदर. And because of my one job, I saw my sisters, they got a little bit stability. I contributed to it positively. I contributed to my mom and dad's peace of mind and stability. I contributed to my own and my wife's. So it was so difficult to let it go. But then I had to admit to myself, because this is not something that you're designed to do. And you know what I did after that?
This is not something you are designed to do. Agree with that,
okay.
Yes.
But you know what I did after that? I actually just had a call before you came in with my teammate in India. And I was just telling him what I'm actually going through right now. So I have this contract with another client that I got by myself, and I'm just providing them services. But I'm not billing them monthly. It's like if I hit a target, you're going to pay me a percentage of whatever I brought you in terms of revenue. Now my mind works differently, bro. It is completely working in a different state of mind. Now I'm not thinking how to half-ass my work and save my time. Now I'm thinking, do less amount of work but have the maximum amount of output. So I am taking a whole day just to design a flow in an email that I'm sending out to customers. और मैं उसमें क्या बात करूँगा? पहले जो काम मैं 10 मिनट में करता था, I'm taking 3 hours for it. But I know इसका return बहुत ज़्यादा है if I do it right.
हाँ, क्योंकि फिर तुम्हें 1 या 2 ही क्लाइंट्स चाहिए. अगर आप इसमें कम एफर्ट डाल रहे हो तो फिर आपको 100 क्लाइंट्स चाहिए, और 100 में से फिर आपके 15 या 20 होंगे जो कि मिला के वो अमाउंट बनाएंगे जो आपको चाहिए सर्वाइव करने.
ये भी एक मसला है. और मैं क्लाइंट्स के साथ देख, अच्छे क्लाइंट्स तो होना चाहिए और ज़्यादा होने चाहिए. There is nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you have to be good at what you do. Because once you become that person, people are going to come to you. They are going to come to you and buy what you're selling. And you will run out of spaces to sell. You'll run out of things to sell. If your stuff is that good. And that is just, honestly, this is what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told us. This is what pretty much every good person in the history of humanity told us. When it comes to business, just अच्छा काम करोगे खुद ब खुद चीजें सही हो जाएंगी. It's just going to be a bit difficult. तुम्हें overnight success नहीं मिलेगा. लेकिन तुम्हें
overnight success तो मुझे properly लगता है एक hoax है.
अबे वो hoax चूतिया बनाने की
There is no such
machine
thing as overnight success.
चूतिया बनाने की machine है. Honestly, I went $0 to $10,000, $1 million in 30 days. बेकार बातें सारी.
Bro, I made like 15 lakh rupees in 24 hours. Not because I worked hard, but because I talked to my family rightly and they gave me money.
Okay,
That is,
fine.
I can call that an overnight success.
Sure, man.
लेकिन
No,
उसमें
dude.
भी effort तो family का है ना. उन्होंने जोड़ के रखे थे तो दे पाए.
उन्होंने
वो hard work किया जो मुझे करना चाहिए.
उन्होंने कुछ labor या कुछ चीज trade की for that money.
Absolutely.
Time, labor, more capital assets, something or the other that generated that money that they gave you. But the thing is, this is what I believe is the ultimate manifestation of having like a myopic point of view or a myopic perspective of life. To just not wait, like delayed gratification के लिए किसी के पास patience नहीं. रुक जाओ ना, आएगा मजा, रुक जाओ. थोड़ी सी तकलीफ आएंगी. अगर तकलीफ आ रही है, that means you're on the right path, man. You're on the right path. अगर लोग तुम्हें तंग कर रहे हैं, तुम्हें परेशान कर रहे हैं, तुम्हें यूनिवर्स तंग कर रहा है, you're on the right path. If you don't have any obstacles, there is something wrong. आगे खोल लो भाई, कुछ गलत है. Because what you're doing is not something that you're supposed to be doing. This is what I believe, man. Obstacles तो आना ज़रूरी है. Because अगर obstacles नहीं आएंगे, that means you're not doing anything that's outside your comfort zone. Are you? What the fuck are you gonna learn? And if you don't learn anything, how the hell are you gonna grow?
That's the one thing keeping me alive right now, you know. I have to learn something every day. रोज कुछ ना कुछ सीखना है, चाहे कुछ भी हो. I peaked out on filmmaking aesthetics and techniques, so now I am learning music. And music के उस point पे आ गया हूँ कि I can sing non-stop for a maximum of 10 to 15 minutes.
Damn.
Then I start going out of tune.
Oh.
नहीं, I've been doing this for ये 2019 में 2020 में start किया मैंने. कोविड हिट हुआ, उस वक्त वहाँ बैठा हुआ था. रिमेंबर क्लब 432? वहाँ बैठे हुए थे, तो वहाँ पे यसरा रिजवी की फिल्म शूट हो रही थी. वो शूट होना शुरू हुई है. Due to contract limitations, I can't tell you the story. It's in post-work right now.
Still?
Sir,
This was a long time when you were
this
shooting.
is a film about a social media viral superstar. Yasra Rizvi's claim to fame is not due to acting, it's because of her poetry.
I remember
And her
and
poetry
she just
was
disappeared.
first acknowledged by India.
But she just disappeared. I don't even see her anymore.
She's working at Green Entertainment at the moment.
But where is the movie? Why is it taking so long in post-op?
Because this movie was her cathartic movie. ये उसकी जिंदगी की पहली डायरेक्शन थी. We were trapped in 432 consciously. हमने कहा वो लॉकडाउन हो गया है, कोई काम तो मिलेगा नहीं, क्योंकि 432 में वो चलता था, उसका जो कैश का होता ना, वो था वहाँ के लाइव इवेंट्स. अभी तुम उनका सोशल मीडिया देखो, हर थोड़ी देर से बाद कोई ना कोई लाइव इवेंट हो रहा है. They were Farhan, who's basically the main brainchild here, the owner as well, who runs the whole show. He never wanted to use social media as a means of making money. He just wanted to start a community. क्योंकि कराची में आर्टिस्ट जो हैं वो ज़्यादातर अंडरग्राउंड ही हैं, जिनको मेजर लोग आर्टिस्ट समझते हैं, विच इज़ फाइन. वो एक्चुअली आर्टिस्ट नहीं है, देर मोर लाइक प्रोड्यूसर्स, कंटेंट जनरेटर्स. वो भी रिपीट में कर ऑन अ लूप, विच इज़ फाइन. आजकल के ज़माने में लोगों को अपनी रियलिटी को भूलने के लिए ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्में चाहिए, डिचक वाला म्यूजिक चाहिए. देर फिलिंग अ रिक्वायरमेंट, बट इवन दे नो फॉर अ फैक्ट दैट दे आर नॉट आर्टिस्ट्स. एक आर्टिस्ट तो रियलिटी को डिपेक्ट कर रहा होता है ना, और रियलिटी को डिपेक्ट करना बहुत पेनफुल प्रोसेस है अगर आपके पास एक कम्युनिटी ना हो टू विच यू कैन टॉक.
हाँ, ये तो
जैसे फिल्म मेकिंग है ना, अकेला बंदा नहीं बना सकता. अकेला बंदा लिख सकता है, लेकिन लिखने के लिए भी उसे पता नहीं कितने लोगों से बात करनी होगी, लाइफ में कितना एक्सपीरियंस गेनना होगा.
ये तो चाहिए.
एट द वेरी बेसिक मिनिमम.
Anything that you want to do, you have to go out and interact with people and have experiences. Be it the land of business, art, entertainment, you need, because why the hell are you doing it in the first place then? I'm not saying that you're making art so that other people will look at it and praise you, but you are making art because you got affected.
It's a cathartic process.
So what are you catharting? You're catharting your experience. And how did it come about? Because you were surrounded by somebody in your life. It could be your family, your friends, a bully, a love, interest, whatever. There were people involved at every point in your life. You need the people. लोगों के बगैर तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा. And literally people say you need to know the right people in the industry, या फिर आपको अगर पहचानना है आपकी कंपनी देखो और ये सारी चीजें. This makes sense now because people are an integral part of people's lives.
In the 20s it didn't make sense. I was like, fuck all of this. I will learn everything and do it on my own.
Same here, bro. That's what I thought as well. But I did learn. You have to learn these lessons, and you can only learn it by doing it. Now I don't know what's going to happen now.
I've had multiple opportunities, very कहूँगा ना once in a lifetime वाली multiple opportunities to make it big.
Why didn't you then, man? You should have. Why not?
Because my family never told me. I figured this out on my own. That my father has a terminal disease.
Oh, okay.
I had to be there. I had to sacrifice my own career to make sure my family stabilized. It's a personal choice. किसी ने force नहीं किया मुझे करने के लिए.
I don't think you sacrificed anything.
Actually, I learned more than I could ever imagine.
It was like, obviously, if somebody's going to tell me, what are you going to choose? Your dream career or your family? Of course, my freaking family. Doesn't matter how much I hate them. If they need me, they need me. Khatam ho gayi baat. I can always build my career later on.
My family didn't even know they needed me, na? Because they took me.
That's how it happens.
6 years ago, basically, I figured out that dad's going through cancer. And here's the fun part. My dad doesn't know.
Oh shit, man. Are you serious right now?
Till he died, he did not know what he had. In order to make that a success story, my mother, my sisters, all had to work in a very organized and almost like a gangster way.
That must have taken a toll on everybody in the house. It's not easy.
Basically, it took 10 years for him to get cured. His cancer was 100% cured. Government retired officers, so all medication and treatment was funded by Pakistan's government. Whatever they funded, it got cleared. Bladder cancer stage 0 से stage 3 तक गया, उन्होंने पूरा clear करके मेरा अब्बा मुझे वापस किया इसी साल April 2023 में. Double check, triple check, and we like सही है. मेरी बहन जो है वो कतर में होती है, तो फिर he's like मैं कतर जा रहा हूँ मिलने अपनी बहन से, उनकी बेटी obviously. वहाँ पे गए, अच्छी खासी पार्टी की है. The thing about cancer is it's a very underrated word. People still don't understand how excruciating it is to go through this. I would have never understood if I hadn't seen my own father go through it. मेरी फैमिली में तो उल्टा कल्चर है कि भाई किसी को पता नहीं उनको बीमारी थी, बस कहना ऐसी हाँ सही थे ये वक्त के साथ अब क्या यार. At least give that person that level of respect. He fought something most people don't come out of, and he came out of that shit.
That's
और फिर relapse हुआ है. Relapse वो भी 87 की एज पे. और उसमें लंग कैंसर का रिलैप्स हुआ है जिसमें मैक्सिमम टाइम जो है 1 साल या 2 साल दिया जाता है ऑफ समवन हु इज लेस देन 50 years of age. So he survived 4.5 months on lung cancer stage 4.
that's
without
amazing.
knowing what he has.
That's even more. I mean, like
that is what I had to do in order to compromise my career.
That is sahi hai, bro. I mean, your dad needed you. Come on, that makes sense. But the thing is, that's the thing now with like.
I never lost anything. I gained so much.
Yeah,
compromising. कि मतलब instinct train हो गई है.
It wasn't a compromise. You moron.
Because my family and my dad gave me a vow कि do not tell anyone.
Did you spend more time with your father as a consequence of this compromise that you keep talking about?
No, I was always attached to dad. I had to give dad distance. As long as I needed my dad to stay alive, I needed to give him a drive to live. You have to understand, the terminal diseases can only be cured if you have the will to fight them. Medicines don't work.
But let's say
so I used to be around my dad and I consciously fought with him. I consciously manipulated his mind to force him to be angry so that he would have a drive to do something. Because he was around 77, 78 is not an age where you have motivation to live, mind you. And 90% of the labor work That was done through my mother. I'll tell you that right now. My mom, I think, still doesn't realize how badly I used her, but I'm happy about it. I don't have any regrets.
But
if I gave my dad time, he would have died in 2 years because he would have nothing to live for. I had to make sure I go to my dad and connect with him when I know for a fact that he cannot be cured. So I had to start giving him 100% time from July to 2023. End of July, start of September. Because when it's stage 4, there is no cure for it. और क्योंकि he is above 70 तो ऑपरेट नहीं हो सकता. तो इसमें मेडिकल सर्विसेज में होती है पैलेटिव केयर. मे बी यू हर्ड ऑफ दिस. पैलेटिव केयर इसके जैसे नर्सिंग होती है, इसी तरह से नर्सिंग की पैलेटिव केयर होती है. That is for terminal families, not terminal patients.
Families?
Terminal, sir, the one center of your family is dying and everybody knows. Now, how do you fix your life after that?
Oh, so it's more like, okay,
मुझे ये term भी नहीं पता थी. I had
Okay.
to actually learn this on my own
So what
and
does-
then apply to my family.
So
Palliative care होती है जिसमें जो everyday tasks होती हैं ना, उनमें आप उनके लिए लोग हायर कर लेते हो ताकि आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा टाइम जो है अपने पेशेंट के साथ गुजार सको और उसको पेन भुला दो.
Well, yeah, in my family.
पाकिस्तान में सर पैलेटिव केयर इज हेल एक्सपेंसिव. इट्स अ मिनिमम ऑफ 3 to 5 lakhs per month.
Yeah.
जो कि आम आदमी अफोर्ड कर ही नहीं
This
सकता.
is something that at least in my community and my family, we do it for each other. So it's
This
like
is
if I
something
know
which
somebody,
is very well done in all community. I don't belong to a community.
Yeah,
My
that's
community
true.
is my family.
like literally, like a friend of mine called me last week, and he told me, "What are you doing right now?" Like, I'm working. What's up, man? And he's not even here. He's outside the countries. And he said, "Yeah, can you take a few hours out? I need you." What's up, man? He's an old friend. He said, "My grandma is in the hospital, or she's actually on her way to the hospital. Like, is there anything I can do?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, there is nothing you can do per se because my sister is there. I've got relatives there. They can take care of her. I just need you to be there instead of me, because he's like kind of my age. We are so close. We're almost brothers, right?" So he said, "Yeah, just go there and tell me what the hell is going on." So I didn't really contribute much, but my presence helped him. So that's a part of palliative care in a way. And if somebody is dying in my family,
That is literally palliative care.
हाँ,
यही है.
तो हम क्या करते हैं?
मुसलमानों पे actually palliative care फर्ज है.
फर्ज
Because you're
है.
supposed to take care of your parents. It's the primary responsibility of the sons.
Yeah.
Secondary for daughters. Primary for sons. They're supposed to take care of it. If
Yeah.
your father is bedridden, you help him out the
Absolutely,
way he helped
man.
you out.
Absolutely. The thing is, like, if somebody is dying, I mean, we know, like my nana had, he died of cancer. My khala, so on my mother's side, my mom's father and my mom's sister, they both died of cancer, I think. Yes.
Cancer, sorry to give this tangent here, it's more like a little side note, but cancer is very hard to diagnose.
Yeah.
And usually जब diagnose होता है तो stage 3 या 4 pass हो चुकी होती है.
Yeah.
It is not at all mandatory for you to experience any kind of pain
Yeah.
in cancer.
So what happened was, I remember talking about palliative care, is that my mother and even my sisters, they would spend a lot of time in their, with them, with their family. Sometimes sending them food, sometimes spending the whole day with the person who was sick, sometimes helping somebody else out in the family. We would go and talk to them. We would go and be with them. We would bring gifts. Well, I wouldn't call it gifts. We would bring snacks, drinks. We would spend time with them because whenever we thought कि नहीं यार, they are struggling a bit psychologically, emotionally, whatever. So we would also, always give them a call. Yeah, you need something. Should we come over? Let's party. Let's watch a movie together. Let's just sit and talk on a cup of tea. This helps a lot. I mean, this is so, because this person is dying. You cannot do anything about it. It takes a toll on you. So if people that you're close to, when they come over, they have a chat with you, you feel less heavy. So you can go to sleep easily. And it's that simple. तो बीमार की तीमारदारी करना क्या है? यही तो है. और क्या है? That's it. And this is so important, and sadly, I don't know, not a lot of people even do it. They are scared of doing it. Hey, yaar, come on, you have to dive
Because
head
nobody
first.
ever taught them how to do it.
Bro, it's just basic humanity. It's not that nobody taught them. People taught them not to do it.
हाँ.
Actually, that's the problem. If you were not
That's
even,
a good way of placing
yeah,
it.
because you were told नहीं करना चाहिए, उसका personal business है ये. अरे यार, if somebody is in trouble, if you lend them a helping hand that they need right now, why the hell would they get offended?
Even if they don't take your hand, just
Fine.
offer it.
खत्म, मना ही करेगा ना.
उसको हौसला आ जाएगा कि चलो एटलीस्ट हेल्प कहीं से आ रही है. यानी अगर हेल्प आ रही है यानी there is a way out. I can go through this.
And the least you can do is like, you don't need my help right now, कोई बात नहीं, but whenever you need it, I'm here. Give me a call. Here's my number, or here's where I live, or here's where I'm gonna be. You can reach me here. I'm right here. One of my colleagues, उसकी किसी friend ने suicide कर ली थी in India. This dude was in Boston studying and also working with me. उसकी एक दोस्त है पुरानी, and I think she committed suicide or she attempted it, I don't know. And I was just having a chat with him one on one. हमारी काम की बात चली during working hours, and I was like, hey man, his name is, yeah, I'm not going to say his name, अच्छी बात नहीं.
अगर नेम बोलोगे मैं म्यूट कर दूंगा या टूट की आवाज लगा दूंगा.
नहीं, let's not do that. But what I want to try to say is that when he told me, I gave him 15 minutes from my working day, like, because this guy needs it, and we just had a chat. And then when we were done, he told me, thank you for talking to me. I feel so alone, और मुझे honestly बहुत सुकून में आ गया आपसे बात करके.
Because you don't go for the scripts.
Yeah.
Normally लोग मिलते हैं वो रटी हुई scripts बोलते हैं. देखें ये तो अल्लाह का कानून है, सब ने एक दिन मर जाना है. अबे बंदे से बात करिए, repeated.
बात करिए यार, क्या हो गया? मैंने honestly, I just asked him, are you okay man? यार मुझे flashbacks आ रहे हैं यार, मुझे कहा देख यार dude, होता है यार, it happens. I'm not saying it's good or it's normal, but this is life. और बड़े बड़े धचके आएंगे. This is very small. Just brace yourself man, relax. It's okay. It happens. कर जाते हैं. And the most you can do is you can talk to your friend as much as you can. ला यार मैं करता हूँ. मैं कहा देख यार you this is what you can do.
वही ना friend की definition भी बहुत.
मैंने कोशिश की उसका guilt जो है ना, क्योंकि यार अगर one of my friends would commit suicide or would at least attempt it, I would feel guilty कि यार मैं शायद उसकी help कर दूँ या मैं कर देता. Am I too late or something? So I tried to rid him of some of his guilt that you did what you could. Relax. It's their action, not yours. जब उसने सुना ना, उसको पता थी ये बात, लेकिन जब उसने मेरी बात सुनी ना, उसको ये फील हुई डीप में, बिल्कुल डेप्थ में उसको जाके लगी, करंट आया उसको, तो वो थोड़ा सा सीधा हुआ. And then I told him, bro, जब भी बात करनी हो, I'm here man, don't worry about it. Here's my number, call me off times, working hours, you need some help, I'm here to talk. And that's all I can do right now. I can talk to you. But I would love to spend some time with you if you just want to talk. like यार तुमने बोला ना bro, मैं सुकून में आ गया. Thank you so much. This guy is a Hindu with the proper टीका वाला Hindu. I don't know, वो जो ऊपर white लगाते हैं वो अक्सर. He's a devout Hindu. He's an Indian. I'm a Pakistani.
Brahmin. That's a Brahmin.
I don't know, but all I know is he's a devout Indian. Oh, a devout Hindu. And he's Indian. I'm a Pakistani. We are working for an American company. He's in Boston. I'm in Karachi. So it doesn't matter, yaar. You can help anybody any way you want.
वैसे आज के ज़माने में the word Hindu is defined as a religion, but I consider myself a Hindu as well. Because देखो पाकिस्तान की सबसे बड़ी मेरे हिसाब से ट्रेजेडी इस वक्त यही चल रही है. हमने अपना कल्चर जो है ना वो एक तरह से एम्प्यूटेट कर दिया है. We evolved from Indians into Pakistanis. If we cannot respect our history, we do not have a future.
Who says we don't respect our history?
Majority doesn't.
Yeah, they do. They don't know that they don't. I mean, जिसकी भी शादी हो, भले जितना भी ज़्यादा इस्लामिक.
Last time तुम A3 में या F11 में कब बैठे थे?
यार, it's been more than a decade. बल्कि A3 F11 में
मैं भी 3-4 दिन पहले बैठा हूँ. मैंने सुना है हिंदू वाजिबुल कतर है, कादियानी वाजिबुल कतर है, शिया काफिर होते हैं, सुन्नियों ने सबको बेच खाया. मतलब ये फट्टा अभी तक चल रहा है.
Bro, वो तो चलेगा ना. देख यार, people who, there is a huge chunk of people in Pakistan who are worried or who cannot make ends meet or who can barely make ends meet. उनकी life बहुत different. Trust me, I've been there myself, and I know a lot of people who've been there and got out of it, and some people who've been there and are still there. It's a different mindset, and you need faith, you need religion to keep yourself safe, because life is shit. Life is, dude, no, life is shit. आपको भूखा सोना पड़ता है घर पे. आपको जब रात को सो रहे हो, अगर आपके पास खाने के पैसे नहीं है तो आपने अपने बच्चे को थोड़ा बहुत खाना खिलाया, आप भूखे सोए हो, या कभी आपका बच्चा भूखा सोया है, उससे ज़्यादा तो खुदा की कसम कोई चीज़ नहीं एक मर्द के लिए जो उसे मार दे, मगर उसे फिर भी जिंदा रह के कल काम पे जाना है और जलील होना है. एक मर्द की लाइफ है, औरत की लाइफ डिफरेंट है. उसको घर पे किसी के जाके काम करना है. आसान नहीं है लोगों की लाइफ यहाँ पे. सो इन ऑल ऑफ दिस स्ट्रगल most people opt for faith, क्योंकि खुदा है ना, हमारा ख्याल रखेगा, खुदा देगा, खुदा रिस्क देने वाला है. तो जब वो उस डायरेक्शन में जाते हैं तो वहाँ पे ये सारे हमारे जो मिडिल मैन हैं ये आ जाते हैं. अब मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि सारे मिडिल मैन खराब है, ना ही मैं कह रहा हूँ सारे मिडिल मैन सही है. मैं कह रहा हूँ जस्ट बिकॉज एक बंदे ने एक यूनिफॉर्म पहना है और उसका नाम मुफ्ती या मौलाना से शुरू होता है तो वो सही. लेकिन ऐसे लोगों के पास जो वैसी स्ट्रगल करें, दे डोंट हैव टाइम और रिसोर्सेज और द माइंड सेट टू एक्चुअली फिगर आउट. और यहाँ पे कोई गवर्निंग बॉडी तो है नहीं. मैं आज जाके किसी मस्जिद में बैठ सकता हूँ किसी भी इलाके की जो जहाँ मुझे कोई नहीं जानता हूँ, मैंने कपड़े पहने हो, मैं थोड़ी सी दाढ़ी रख लूँ, नोबडी इज गोइंग टू क्वेश्चन मी. आहिस्ता आहिस्ता अजान दे दूँ, 3-4 महीने के बाद मैं नमाज पढ़ाना स्टार्ट कर दूँ, मैं कर सकता हूँ इफ आई वांट टू. इट्स गोना बी अ लिटिल बिट डिफिकल्ट बट इट्स वेरी पॉसिबल. और फिर मैं जुमे के खुतबे में मैं क्या बोलता हूँ वो भी मैं बोल सकता हूँ, मुझे कोई नहीं रोकेगा. हाँ, मुझे ये बताया जाएगा गवर्नमेंट से कि मुझे बोलना क्या है, मुझे ये नहीं बताया जाएगा कि मुझे क्या बोलना नहीं है. ज़्यादातर वो दे यूज जुमे के खुतबा प्रोपेगेंडा मशीन्स. रिलीजन इज ऑलवेज द ओपिएट ऑफ द मासेस बिकॉज
ये किसने दी थी डेफिनेशन? मैं यही मेरे दिमाग में
आई थिंक इज बर्ट्रांड रसल.
रसल थी ना?
आई थिंक आई कुड बी रॉन्ग.
Same here. I don't remember who said this, but
I think it was Bertrand Russell. I've read some of his books. मुझे वहीं से ये मिली quote. But वो इसलिए है ना because यार the masses have a shit life.
So, would you agree with me if I say that the religion of the 21st century is highly customized because social media is used to create your religion?
हाँ, yeah, in a way because a lot of
पहले आपको खुतबे के लिए मस्जिद जाना ज़रूरी था, अब आपको टिकटॉक पे खुतबों के क्लिप्स मिलते हैं.
और सब खुतबों के आपको हर चीज़ मिलती है.
अच्छा, I do not want to mark Islam as the only religion that's doing it. No, religion means every religion. इसमें polytheism भी आ गया, monotheistic भी आ गया, इसमें atheism भी आ जाता है क्योंकि atheist में भी आपने एक तरह से God को तो define किया हुआ है ना.
That he does not exist.
So that's also a definition. भाई आपने iota system पढ़ा हुआ है, आपने negative numbers पढ़े हुए हैं. You have to define zero in order to have a scale.
Yes.
If your scale is not having a God, then you're defining God as something which is definable.
Exactly. So I mean, it is kind of counterproductive, but again, it's God, so nobody's gonna get this stuff anyway, least of all us. So
because that is where I see our society going towards. It's going towards a shift. Lekin that shift is to restore community system, restore a consciousness which is universal. इस वक्त individualism चल रहा है ना ज़्यादातर.
यार ये
बहुत गंदी जंग आने वाली है या ऑलरेडी चल रही है. लेकिन अभी तक जो जंगें चल रही थी ना उसमें आम आदमी इन्वॉल्व नहीं था. नाउ एवरी सिंगल पर्सन इज अ सोल्जर. आई थिंक द टर्म कीबोर्ड वॉरियर डिफाइंस इट बेटर because in the end you are fighting with something. Even just saying something out loud in my books classifies as weapons you have.
Absolutely.
Vocal is the most
you are
powerful
protesting about something that you don't like or don't
it was the choice of weapons of the prophets ना. सबसे ज़्यादा तो उन्होंने preach ही किया है.
I don't know, man. Reality is getting more and more complex as we go forward.
आई थिंक रियलिटी कॉम्प्लेक्सिफाई हो चुकी थी, अब सिर्फ एक्सपोज हो रही है क्योंकि अब इसको यूज़ करना है एज अ कैटलिस्ट टू क्रिएट अ यूनिफाइड सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नेंस और अ यूनिफाइड सिस्टम ऑफ थिंकिंग. एंड द ओनली वे आई थिंक विच इट कैन बी काउंटर्ड इज टू अंडरस्टैंड द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द ऑडियो विजुअल.
What the? I mean, unified way of thinking, you said?
Unified way of thinking.
If everybody's thinking the same,
they're all slaves.
Exactly. So that's counterproductive. You cannot have everybody thinking the same because the edge cases are the ones that actually move the needle, so to speak. If everybody is an average, then it really doesn't matter if everybody is alive or dead.
तुमने Kardashev scale पढ़ा हुआ है ना?
I don't.
Do you remember Kardashev scale? नहीं, we've had these conversations in Greyhound days.
Kardashev scale मुझे याद आ रहा है. It rings a bell, but I don't remember. Please.
Classification of civilizations.
Oh yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3. अभी हम I guess minus. अभी तो हमने 1 भी attain नहीं किया.
And there is also this Drake's equation, was it? That why have we not found any aliens in the universe?
Oh, the aliens are right here. We just can't see them because we're not vibrating at their frequency. I think that's the Drake's equation.
I don't know, man. I mean, all of this stuff, like next time we should actually have a laptop open in front of us so we know what we're talking about. But
नहीं, लैपटॉप क्यों भाई? लैपटॉप आ गया तो we have assistants. We are talking man to man.
Yeah, exactly.
Podcast करनी है तो फिर ऐसे बैठ के बात करो वरना नहीं करो.
There is an equation out there that kind of defines what will it take for us to find aliens or something. I don't know what it's called. And उसके अंदर भी civilization की classifications हैं. मुझे वहाँ से याद आ रहा है.
But you're not a scholar. Neither am I.
No.
We're normal people.
Yeah.
So we will talk the way we are supposed to talk. अगर गलत बोल रहे हैं तो अगली पॉडकास्ट में जाके इसको चेक करेंगे और कहेंगे भाई हमने यहाँ गलत बोला था. जो फॉलो कर रहा है अगर वो भी हमारे थॉट प्रोसेस का है कि नॉर्मल आदमी है लेकिन उसको एक्सपोजर ज़्यादा मिल गया तो आगे से कमेंट करेगा.
We just have a conversation honestly. तो
भाई ये कॉन्वर्सेशंस हमने बैठ के जब भी किसी एकेडमिक सर्कल में या किसी तरह के कम्युनिटी सर्कल में किए, किसी ने आगे ज्वाइन इन जरूर किया है. ये मेरे साथ बस में होता है, रैंडमली होता है. लोगों से बैठ के कॉन्वर्सेशन शुरू करो. ठीक है, बस में अगर 100 लोग बैठे हैं, 100 ज़्यादा, अगर बस में 10 लोग बैठे हैं तो उनमें से 8 के माइंड जो है वो लॉक्ड है ड्यू टू फियर. The explanation you gave, I agree with it because I think fear is what keeps you locked into certain thought processes.
Yeah, of course.
जबकि nothing is supposed to be locked, nothing is supposed to be constant, everything changes.
That's why it's called fear, and that's why you have to conquer fear.
Conquer fear.
Vocabulary यही है ना, डर के सामने खड़ा रहना, या जो भी उर्दू में बोलते हैं, इंग्लिश में तो conquer your fear. It's because that is something that you need to get over. इस पे फतह हासिल करनी है basically.
हाँ, you can't go around it, you can't go under it.
अब तो उससे लड़ना है, वो है ना. और जब आप उससे लड़ते हो, क्या है, डर के आगे जीत है. जो उस तरह का भी डर हो, वो जीत यही है कि आपने कॉन्कर कर लिया और आपके पास में दरवाजे खुलना स्टार्ट हो गए. वो डिपेंड करता है कौन से दरवाजे. डर तो यार मेरे हिसाब से हमारा एवोल्यूशनरी रिस्पॉन्स है. दैट
तुम्हें लाइटर पकड़ा गई यार. ये जो डर है ना,
वो फाइट और फ्लाइट रिस्पॉन्स यही है.
Yasra Rizvi will always be the bravest director I know, not the best director, the bravest director, because the film she attempted, she went into her own head.
Damn, on the first film.
On the first film.
God damn, that takes guts back.
और वो भी 3 घंटे की फिल्म है जो इसने पूरी खुद लिखी है, और पूरी फिल्म में ये अकेली एक्टर है.
क्या बात कर रहा है?
बाकी सारे वॉइस एक्टर्स हैं.
क्या बात?
इसने खुद तकरीबन 4 कैरेक्टर्स किया.
जो
इसका प्रोटैगनिस्ट कह लो, प्रोटैगनिस्ट गलत वर्ड है, लेकिन उसका बेसिकली एक तरह से the assistant vehicle to move the story forward always stays a PO.
It's characters like one of those European things. Yeah, European cinema के अंदर होता है ना, they are pretty character driven. हाँ, ये नहीं, I mean, like it's a very rudimentary comparison, but if you compare Hollywood with European cinema,
नहीं, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Hollywood के अंदर ज़्यादातर ये होता है, you create a situation, you throw your characters in, and then they react to whatever's happening.
That's classical Hollywood narrative.
That's classical Hollywood, and classical European narrative is, it's not about the situation, it's about the people in it, what they think, what they feel, what they do, what they say, how the relationships are with each other. Good art की films हो गई. Tarantino is actually more towards European classical cinema. He creates a very bland situation, but the characters are rich.
Okay, so this brings us to the conclusion of the whole topic of Club 432, because Yasra Rizvi's claim to fame is for inventing a genre which he calls ghazal.
ghazal,
ठीक है ना, ghazal और nazm को एक तरह से सुपर इम्पोज किया हुआ है.
ghazal,
ठीक है. ghazal से उसने जो गंभीर किस्म के नैरेटिव्स होते हैं, नॉट डिप्रेसिंग नैरेटिव्स, इंटेंसली डेप्थ वाले नैरेटिव्स विच आर नेवर एंडिंग, जो कि आपको पागलपन में, वो थॉट प्रोसेस लेना है, वो फीलिंग लेनी है, लेकिन उसको स्ट्रक्चर एक नज़म की तरह करना है. दिस इज मतलब द फिल्म शी हैज़ मेड. आई नो फॉर अ फैक्ट ये फिल्म किसी फिल्म फेस्टिवल में जाएगी, उसको स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन मिलेगी, लेकिन अगर ये गलती से भी किसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ गई, एटलीस्ट द कट आई नो ऑफ, ये मतलब
क्या होगा?
उठवा लेंगे. वो शर्मीन उबैद चुनाव वाला हाल होगा यस्रा रिज़वी का. या तो डायरेक्ट हॉलीवुड है या डायरेक्ट बस्ट है, बिकॉज पीपल वुड कम टू किल हर. शी एक्सपोज्ड द थॉट प्रोसेस ऑफ अ फीमेल, of a Pakistani female starting from the 1950s till today.
अबे भाई फेंको यार, प्लेटफॉर्म पे सोचो नहीं इतना.
मेरी फिल्म थोड़ी है यस्रा की.
मतलब अभी ये यहाँ का मसला है ना, जो डर है, ये कर लेंगे वो कर लेंगे.
डर नहीं है, डर नहीं है.
तो फिर क्या है?
It took them 2 years to find someone who could edit that film.
Why?
Because Yasra did not know how to edit it.
Oh अच्छा.
ठीक है. You know the guy, Faraz Haider. Remember Vanessa Muzaffar. हमारे साथ ज़ाबिस में थी. The RJ. So she used to be with a guy.
Faraz Haider is an editor? I thought he was the actor.
Faraz Haider is an artist. He is privileged enough to have his own studio, and he's